Okay, can you please give your name?
My name is Irwan Ngadisastra.
And what is your company and can you give like a small description of it?
My company is Indocafe. It is a full service Indonesian restaurant in North Seattle.
Right. So, how do you define success?
Success. I think success comes from when um, basically success is when you have everything that you need and you are no longer thinking about yourself now, thinking of others. So it's like a legacy plan.
Where did your inspiration to make Indocafe come from?
Mainly from my father, my own father.
So how did you move from an idea to make a restaurant to actually like succeeding in the marketplace?
How did you move from an idea to something? Well, um, most of the time, my dad or my mentor used to teach me like if you have an idea, you write that idea down, and then once you write that idea down, and then when you're one step closer to studying something, then you create a business plan.
And so in your Indo Cafe restaurant, how did you organize your team from scratch until now?
Well, I identify the strength of the people that I need in the team, and that's where we formulate the team. Is what are the roles that are necessary, and the people that can fit into that roles.
If you could like have what would you have done differently for Indo Cafe?
Uh, what could I have done differently? Excuse me. What could I have done differently? Hmm. If I could, what could I have done differently? Probably, if I could, I will invest more into marketing. Actually,
Into marketing?
effective marketing that uh, specific target market. Actually,
And what is that specific? So what is the specific target market that you're looking for?
so basically, the reason that we opened in the cafe is because we want to educate the American market about Indonesian cuisine. And so the target market that we want to achieve is primarily the American market, the local market, which is the non-Indonesian, because we find that the non-Indonesian actually do not quite know or understand about Indonesian cuisine. And so that's not an easy task to identify and how to effectively to those target market.
Okay. So my other question is, what makes a great entrepreneur?
What makes a great entrepreneur? When I was also inspired by a book called E-Myth, and and also a book that was written by Robert Kiyosaki and John C. Maxwell. And in those books, I find that a successful entrepreneur is that when you can identify your role. Because a lot of times, business owners, they are not actually entrepreneurs, but they are actually either engineers, they are managers, they are technician. Basically, they are doing the thing rather than kind of leading the company towards that vision. So, for example, like in my case, for example, in a restaurant case, a lot of the time the business owners or the entrepreneur that owns the restaurant, they are usually the cook or the chef, and they will be working 16 hours a day in the kitchen, cooking and preparing the food. And in the end, they do not have a legacy plan on how to exit. They do not have a plan on how to actually grow the business with their team, because they are doing everything. So I think a great entrepreneur is that when you can identify your role as the entrepreneur, and then to build a team that can work together with you to fulfill that vision, so that you yourself do not have to kill yourself by working 16 hours a day.
Okay. So, what role did education have in your success?
In my situation, education really played a big role. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Finance from the University of Oregon, and I took my Master's in Business Administration at the Seattle U. And I think education gave you the ability to have a creative mindset, and also to have a fundamental knowledge, especially in business fundamentals.
And my last question is, what is the most important question that I didn't ask you right now that you would share as an entrepreneur? An insight, maybe.
Oh, the question maybe that you can ask an entrepreneur is maybe their vision or their goals.
All right.
So what is my vision? My vision goes back to our our starting vision, which is to educate the American market with the Indonesian cuisine, with the Indonesian food. And therefore my vision is to expand actually that Indonesian food experience, what I call it the Indonesian food diplomacy, throughout the whole United States, whether it is through joint ventures or licensing, or it could be through franchising.
All right. Oh well, thank you, Mr. Irwan, for your for this interview. Well, I wish you luck in your venture. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.